Okay, we're here at the top of page 2 for 3.2, and just a reminder from the book about this cross product principle for proportions, a fancy way to say that when you have one fraction equal to one fraction, then you can cross multiply here. The AD equals the BC. Okay, we just have to confirm that those denominators are not 0, because remember, dividing by 0, 0 in the denominator is undefined. And then those cross products made by the little x that you make as you travel to do that multiplication, they're equal to each other. AD equals BC. So let's move on to some practice plus. I'm going to adjust the camera so we can get more of that page in. There we go. The reason these are called practice plus is because at this point they throw in more than one variable. So again, kind of going back to 2.4, it's reminiscent, or it reminds us of 2.4, where we had formulas with more than one variable and we had to solve for one of those variables. Same idea here. You're going to see more than one variable. We're solving for, x or one sort of variable with others still in the formula. So same idea here. There's going to be more than one variable in the proportion. Our job is to seek out and get x by itself. So the way we're going to start that is the way we'd solve any proportion. Okay. What's different about these is there's more than one variable. So there's more variables, there's more unknowns than just x, but it doesn't change how we start, okay? We still look at this as one fraction equal to one fraction, or one ratio equal to one ratio, which means we're going to cross multiply. After that, we'll look at what we've got and then realize we just follow our steps for solving, except we're going to be solving for one of the variables and treating the others as if they were numbers to the extent that we can move them around and get them to the other side of the equation, get x by itself. Okay, so let's start with the cross multiplication here. On number 24, we take c times a, and that's going to be equal to x times b. So c times a is equal to x times b. Or you could write that as ac is equal to bx. Okay, the reason why I did AC was just alphabetical. The reason why BX is because X is the variable that I'm interested in, and so B is acting like the coefficient. It's how many X's we have. We don't know that number right now, but that would be what we would deal with because X is the one we're trying to solve for. So we've got one equation, no parentheses here. We've got we've got an equation without the fractions now, no parentheses, no like terms to combine, it's all just multiplication. So we ask what's happening to x. Well, what's happening to x is it's being multiplied by b. So to get rid of that, we do the opposite operation, that is to divide by b. So x equals ac over b. Okay. Let's go over here to this one. Ax minus b over b equals c minus d over d. Let's go ahead. It's one fraction equal to one fraction. Just remind yourself of that. And what do I need to do? I cross multiply. Here's another example of, as I'm building my confidence and skill, I write down, every time I do the problem, I write down what it is I'm supposed to do in words, general words. I'm not saying multiply d times the top and b to... I'm saying I've got one fraction equals one fraction, I cross multiply. If you need more details, do that for yourself. But at least you're rehearsing the steps for every single problem. When you face those new problems on the exam, you'll be ready. You've rehearsed the steps, you're ready to go, okay? And because you'll have that confidence, you could actually enjoy the process, feel good about what you're doing, feel confident. Okay. So let's cross multiply here. D times ax minus b, so it's d times the entire numerator here, ax minus b, equals, here's the other cross, b times c minus d. b times that entire numerator, c minus d. And now we've got no more fractions, so now we look for getting rid of the parentheses, and in that case we need to do distribution, because there's nothing I can do inside the parentheses to combine those into one term and thus just have one step multiplication. I can't make these any simpler, so now it's time to distribute. So d times a times x minus d times b, or it could be plus d times a negative b, whatever makes most sense to you, equals b times c minus b times d. Again, the minus can come out front because it's positive times a negative, which is negative, or the minus could stay inside with the d, and it could be plus b times negative d, either one. Make sure it's straight in your head which one that is and why, so that you don't have any question when it comes to exam time and you start making things up. That's the worst, right? Okay, now I'm going to keep my goal in mind here, and that is to get x all by itself. So I need to continue to do some rearranging here. So I've got, I'm just going to write this a little bit clearer here for myself without parentheses. A dx minus bd equals bc minus bd. Okay, so x is on one side, so there's no parentheses and no more like terms. So I've done everything I can to simplify it. Now it's time to start undoing what's happening to x. It's being multiplied by AD, and BD is being subtracted. It would be as if I had like 5x minus 3 equals some number, 17. What would I do first? I'd add the 3, get my answer, and then I divide by 5 and get my answer. Okay, same thing here. We're going to take what's being subtracted from and add that to both sides. So I'm going to add BD to both sides. This one works out really nicely because on the left it cancels because that's what you were intending for it to do. It also goes away on the right side, which was an added bonus. Then whatever x is being multiplied by, in this case a times d, those go away by division. So x is equal to bc over AD. Okay. Alright. And if you didn't switch the AD around, if you just had DAX from the beginning, then you'd be dividing by DA on both sides, and you just have BC over DA. And that's fine too. Know that those are equivalent. The book and myself just have a tendency to put things in alphabetical order, given the chance. Okay? You get to try number 26. Let's see, did I adjust far enough down there? There's number 26. So hit the pause button and then come back for the answer. Alright, the answer to 26 is when you isolate x, you should get AD minus BD over C. Alright, we'll see you on page 3. You're doing great.